Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This time, you want to learn about achieving financial freedom.
Yeah,
And you sent in a whole bunch of YouTube videos that summarize financial advice books and concepts. And we're going to break it all down
absolutely.
into some actionable steps and fascinating insights so you can start on your journey to
Yes.
financial freedom.
Yeah.
So we're talking busting money myths, the power of small choices, and the surprising truth about what it really takes to become financially secure.
Uh,
Um,
it's interesting how these sources really kind of dig into some common misconceptions about money, especially when it comes to women.
mhm.
One of the videos actually highlighted a statistic that really made me pause and think.
Oh,
It said that the divorce rate is around 50%,
yeah.
and that women on average live 7 to 8 years longer than men.
Well,
So think about that for a second.
yeah, that means there's a good chance a lot of us
Exactly.
will end up managing our finances solo at some point in our lives,
Right, and that makes it even more important.
regardless of,
Regardless of your relationship status,
yeah,
taking control of your financial life is essential.
absolutely. And speaking of realities, we can't ignore, the sources also touched on the gender pay gap,
Yeah, that's right.
and it's still a thing.
It is definitely still a thing.
So women still earn less than men on average,
Hmm.
which means that becoming financially savvy is even more critical for reaching your goals.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's easy to fall into that trap of thinking like, if I just earn more, all my money problems would just magically disappear.
And I know, right?
But, these videos are saying it's not that simple.
Not that simple.
They dig into this concept called the latte factor,
Yeah, the latte factor.
which is the idea that all those daily $5 lattes or, snacks or whatever can actually cost you millions in the long run.
I know, it's incredible.
It's kind of crazy.
It's a really great illustration of opportunity cost.
Okay.
One source actually used an example of a woman who spent $5 every day on coffee and snacks. And had she invested that money, instead she could have had $1.2 million by retirement.
Wow.
So it just shows those small, seemingly insignificant expenses can really have a huge impact over time.
Absolutely. And it really does make you kind of look at your own life and think like, what is my latte factor?
What is it?
What are those little things that I'm doing that I don't even realize
Yeah.
that are potentially holding me back?
Yes.
But before we even get into tackling those spending habits,
Yeah.
one of the videos featuring David Bach
Mhm.
emphasized something really important.
Yeah.
Money is just a tool.
It is a tool.
It's meant to help us achieve our goals,
Right.
but those goals should align with our values.
With our values.
And it's all about values-driven finances.
Oh, I love that.
Instead of just chasing wealth,
Yeah.
we should be using money as a means to live a life
Yeah.
that reflects what truly matters to us.
Right. And one source actually presented this really cool exercise called the ladder exercise.
Well, tell me about this.
It's a way to kind of uncover those core values.
Okay.
So you start by asking yourself, what is the purpose of money in my life?
Okay.
And then you keep asking yourself, what's the purpose of your previous answer?
Oh, wow.
And you just keep going
Okay.
until you arrive at this core value.
So you kind of drill down.
Yeah, you drill down.
So what are some examples of these core values?
Well, it could be things like freedom,
Right.
security, family,
Okay.
giving back, helping others.
Mm-hmm.
It's really about you and what's important to you.
It's like a journey of self-discovery,
It is.
but for your finances.
Exactly.
So by aligning your financial goals with those values,
Yes.
you're not just like managing money,
It's bigger than that.
you're designing a life
You're designing a life of purpose.
that has purpose.
Yeah, I love that.
And once you have that clarity,
Okay.
the next step is getting organized.
Right.
One source actually suggested this system called the Hedgehog file system.
Okay.
It's a way to categorize your financial documents.
So things like your taxes, your
Yeah.
retirement accounts, insurance policies, all that stuff.
So it's just a way to keep everything organized and accessible.
Exactly. It's so simple, but so effective.
Does that work for digital files too?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because so many of us are trying to go paperless these days.
Right.
And I don't even know where I would begin with that.
Well, the source focused on physical files,
Okay.
but those principles can totally be applied to digital organization as well.
Okay.
The key is just to create a clear, easy to navigate system that works for you,
I love
whatever that looks like.
Getting organized can just be so empowering.
It is.
But it's just the first step, right?
it is.
Then we need to set some goals.
Yeah, you got it.
But not just any goals. Smart goals.
Government goals.
Which need to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant,
Oh, a vet.
and time-bound.
Yes. And the source is really stressed, putting pen to paper,
Oh, right.
making your goals concrete,
Okay.
and taking action within 48 hours.
Wow, so there's no dilly-dallying.
No dilly-dallying.
Okay.
Got to get on it.
I've also heard that sharing your goals with someone supportive can make a big difference
Oh, for sure.
because it's accountability,
Accountability.
and it can really help you stay motivated.
Yeah, did the sources talk about that?
I'm wondering.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
They highlight the importance of finding an accountability partner, someone who can encourage you
Right.
and celebrate those wins along the way.
That makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
because it's easier to stay on track when you know someone's in your corner cheering you on.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this all ties into this concept of paying yourself first,
Yeah.
which seems to be a central theme in these videos.
It is. It is a fundamental principle for building wealth.
Okay, so what does that actually mean?
So it means treating your savings and investments as non-negotiable expenses,
Okay,
just like your rent or your mortgage.
so instead of saving whatever's left over at the end of the month,
Right.
you make saving a priority from the very beginning.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the sources emphasize that automating this process is key.
Automating.
Automating, yes.
Okay, so like setting up automatic transfers
Automatic transfers?
to your savings and investment accounts.
Yes, because then it ensures that you are consistently building your financial future even when life gets busy.
Right, because we can't always rely on willpower
No, we can't.
and motivation to get us there. It's
Exactly.
like having a personal finance assistant
Yes.
working for you 24/7.
That's a great way to put it.
And one source actually pointed out that the government already does this with taxes.
Oh, that's right.
They automatically deduct their portion before you even see your paycheck.
It's true.
It's a brilliant illustration.
Right.
It proves that automating your finances can be incredibly effective for consistent financial success.
Absolutely.
Okay, so far we've talked about debunking those myths,
Yeah.
aligning our finances with our values,
Mhm.
getting organized,
Mhm.
setting goals, and paying ourselves first.
It's a great foundation.
It does feel like we're building a pretty solid foundation here for financial freedom.
We are.
And the great thing is that these principles can apply to anyone,
Everyone.
regardless of their income level or their current financial situation.
Absolutely.
It's all about taking those small, consistent steps
Yes.
day after day, year after year.
That's how you build wealth.
I am really curious to dive deeper into the investing side of things.
Mm.
It really feels like we're starting to connect the dots, between our money and our lives.
Absolutely.
But I'm also thinking about, those times when life throws a curveball,
Yeah.
those unexpected expenses that
Yeah.
just kind of pop up out of nowhere and threaten to just completely derail our financial progress.
I know.
How do the sources kind of address that?
Well, that's such a crucial point, and a lot of the sources really emphasized the importance of having an emergency fund.
Okay.
It's that safety net
Mhm.
that can help protect you from those financial setbacks,
Yeah.
like a sudden job loss.
Right, or an unexpected car repair.
Medical emergency, exactly.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that saying, expect the unexpected.
Yeah,
Life very rarely goes exactly according to plan.
it doesn't.
So having that financial cushion just seems essential.
Absolutely. One video actually suggested
Okay.
aiming for 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses
Oh.
in your emergency fund.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, it might seem like a daunting goal,
Yeah.
but even starting small and consistently adding to it,
Okay.
it can make a huge difference over time.
Now, I've also heard some people say that they keep their emergency fund in a high-yield savings account.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good strategy?
That's a smart move
Okay.
because the goal of your emergency fund is to preserve your money
Okay.
and have it readily available when you need it.
Right.
And a high-yield savings account offers a really safe place to park those funds
Mhm.
while still earning a little bit of interest,
Oh, that's even better.
which is always nice.
I love the idea of my money working for me,
Yeah.
even in an emergency fund.
Exactly.
So it seems like we've covered a lot of ground in terms of managing our day-to-day finances
Right.
and planning for the unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
But what about like the bigger picture,
Go.
our long-term financial goals? Like where does investing kind of fit into all of this?
Well, investing is key
Yeah.
for building that long-term wealth
Okay.
and achieving financial freedom.
Okay.
It's about putting your money to work in assets that have the potential to grow over time.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, the world of investing still intimidates me a little bit.
Yeah, I understand.
There are so many options out there.
I know.
Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, crypto even.
Yeah.
It can get really overwhelming.
Absolutely. It is a vast and complex landscape,
Yeah.
and it's easy to feel lost. But remember, you don't have to be a financial expert to invest successfully.
Okay, so what do you recommend for like a beginner?
Well, one video actually stressed the importance of starting small
Okay.
and focusing on low-cost index funds.
Index funds.
Index funds, yeah.
So what are those exactly?
So they're basically baskets of stocks that track a specific market index,
Okay.
like the S&P 500.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, so instead of trying to pick individual stocks,
Which can be super risky.
which is, yeah, very risky.
You can invest in a diversified portfolio of stocks through an index fund.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's just a really simple and effective way to participate in the stock market's growth
Okay.
without having to, like, research and analyze every single company.
Okay, so it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it.
Exactly.
That sounds a lot more approachable.
Yes.
But how do you decide how much risk to take on?
Mm-hmm.
Because I always hear people talking about risk tolerance,
Yeah.
but I'm not even really sure what that means.
Yeah, that's a crucial question, and it's highly personal.
Okay.
So, risk tolerance is basically your ability and your willingness to withstand potential losses
Okay.
in your investments.
Okay.
And it's influenced by a bunch of different factors, like your age, your time horizon, your financial goals, and even just your personality.
So like if you're younger, you might be more okay with taking on a bit more risk.
Exactly.
But if you're closer to retirement, you might want to be a little bit more conservative.
Exactly. One video shared this helpful analogy
Okay.
comparing investing to running a marathon.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's about pacing yourself, staying disciplined,
Okay.
and not getting discouraged by those short-term fluctuations.
So it's not about trying to get rich quick.
No,
It's about
slow and steady wins the race.
building wealth over time.
Exactly.
And remember, diversification is key.
Yes,
Spreading your investments across different asset classes,
absolutely.
like stocks, bonds, real estate, maybe even a little crypto, if you're feeling adventurous.
If you're feeling really adventurous.
Stuff like don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Diversifying your investments helps to mitigate risks
Okay.
and potentially smooth out your returns over the long run.
All right, this is all starting to make a lot more sense now. It feels like we're building a solid framework for understanding not just our day-to-day finances,
Yeah.
but also like our long-term investment strategy.
We are, and remember, this is just the beginning.
Right.
The more you learn about personal finance and investing,
Right.
the more empowered you'll become to make those informed decisions and create a financial future that aligns with your goals and values.
I love that it's about taking control of our financial lives
Yes.
and creating a path towards the life that we want to live.
Absolutely.
But I am also wondering, how do we stay motivated?
That's a good question.
Because financial goals can feel so big
You know.
and so far off.
Yeah.
It's easy to kind of lose sight of them,
Yeah.
in the day-to-day grind.
It is. It is. And one of the videos actually shared a really powerful strategy.
Oh, tell me.
Visualization.
Oh,
Take some time to imagine your ideal financial future.
okay.
Picture yourself living that life,
Yep.
achieving your goals,
Yeah.
and experiencing that freedom and security that financial stability can bring.
So it's kind of like creating a vision board
It is. It's like a vision board.
for your finances.
Yeah.
It's a way to connect emotionally
Emotionally, yes.
with those goals.
Yeah.
And make them feel more real and achievable.
The more vividly you can imagine that outcome,
Mm-hmm.
the more motivated you'll be to take those necessary steps.
Okay, that's a really good tip. But I'm also curious about, what about when we hit a roadblock or, experience a setback?
Yeah.
How do we kind of stay resilient and keep moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
even when things aren't going exactly according to plan?
That's where having a growth mindset comes in.
Okay.
It's about viewing those challenges as
Yeah.
opportunities for learning and growth,
Okay.
rather than as failures.
So instead of getting discouraged when we make a mistake,
Right.
we can look at it as a lesson learned
Yes,
and do better next time.
absolutely. One video actually shared a quote that really resonated with me.
Okay.
They said, "Every expert was once a beginner."
That's a good one.
It's just a reminder that financial literacy is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
We're all constantly learning and evolving.
And we don't have to have all the answers right away.
Absolutely not.
It takes the pressure off.
Yeah, and remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone.
Right. There's help out there.
There's so much help.
Yeah.
Countless resources available.
Right.
Books, websites, financial advisors,
Support groups.
online communities.
It's like building a financial support system.
It is. We're not meant to do this all by ourselves.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
So this deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
Yeah.
We've covered so much ground
So much.
from, you know, managing our everyday spending
Mm-hmm.
to planning for emergencies,
Yeah.
investing for the future,
Yeah.
and even cultivating that growth mindset.
We've really explored like the full spectrum of financial wellness.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what other insights and takeaways emerge
Yeah.
as we continue this exploration. As we've been going through all these financial tips and strategies, I've realized that financial freedom is about so much more than just money.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's about like having choices and reducing stress and creating a life that really aligns with, what matters most to us.
Mm-hmm.
One of the videos talked about, the importance of giving back and using our financial resources to make a positive impact on the world.
Yeah.
And it made me think that financial freedom isn't just about personal gain. It's also about, you know, contributing to something bigger than ourselves.
I love that.
Yeah.
I found that so inspiring.
Yeah.
When we have our financial house we have so much more capacity to help others
Right.
and make a meaningful difference
Yeah.
in our communities and beyond.
It's like aligning our financial goals with our values
Yes.
and using our resources to kind of create that ripple effect.
Mm-hmm. A ripple effect of positive change.
I love that perspective.
Yeah.
It shifts the focus from me to we, and it highlights the interconnectedness of our financial well-being with the well-being of others.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about recognizing that financial freedom is not a zero-sum game.
Right.
We can all thrive and prosper together.
One of the things that's really resonated with me throughout this entire deep dive is the power of small, consistent actions.
Oh, yeah.
It's so easy to get overwhelmed by the big picture,
I know.
but these sources have reminded me that even those tiny steps
Right.
can lead to significant results over time.
Yeah, it's like the compound interest principle applied to our habits.
I like that.
Yeah, the small, seemingly insignificant choices that we make every day, like brewing our own coffee instead of buying a latte or automating our savings,
Right.
can have a massive impact on our financial future.
We don't have to make these huge changes overnight.
No,
It's about
progress, not perfection.
progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a good mantra
It's a great model.
for our financial journeys.
Yeah, it's about celebrating our wins along the way, learning from our mistakes and never giving up on those goals.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into financial freedom,
Hmm.
I'm curious, what's your biggest takeaway?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What's that one thing that you hope our listeners will remember, long after this episode ends?
For me, it's the understanding that financial freedom is attainable for everyone. It's not about luck or privilege.
Right.
It's about making those conscious choices, cultivating those positive habits, and embracing a mindset of abundance
And empowerment.
and empowerment.
Yes.
It's about taking ownership of our financial lives and creating a future that aligns with our values and our aspirations.
Absolutely.
And we don't have to do it all at once.
No. Start small,
Yeah.
stay consistent, and never underestimate the power of your daily choices.
So to our listeners, we leave you with this question.
Okay.
What small step can you take today to start building that financial future you desire?
Whether it's setting up that automatic transfer to your savings account, identifying your Latte Factor.
Or simply visualizing your financial goals.
Yeah.
Take that first step and watch your financial future transform.
Financial freedom is a journey, not a destination.
It is.
Embrace the journey, enjoy the process,
Yes.
and never stop learning and growing.
And most importantly, believe in yourself and your ability to create that life of financial abundance and fulfillment. You got this.
And that's it for this deep dive.